Hello, my name's Keith and I'm known as the Florida Stone Man, and today I'm going to make a video talking to you all about something very special: how to open your gifts fully, completely, and very quickly. Specifically, an emphasis on the quick part. I am going to tell you guys, your gifts come from the Most High God. If they're of the enemy, they're not your gifts, they're his gifts. They are gifts that don't belong to you, that leave as fast as you discover them. I'm gonna go in on this video. So yes, I'm by the beach. It's a very beautiful place, and the beach is actually one place that you can open your gifts. So you see behind me, there's a beautiful beach. You know, just by going near the water, you can draw energy from the waters, right? You can literally, the beach is something I call a ley line. Every beach is different. Certain beaches have more energy than others, such as like beaches in Hawaii. But when you have a beach, then you're able to meditate by it. Your gifts, I mean, you literally will hear every angel by the beach. You'll sit down and meditate and your eyes will close, and then you'll actually get more than angels visiting you, but you get to filter out who you actually want to talk to. What do I mean by that? It's because when you sit by the beach, I can safely say I'm not initiated in any tradition, but I have heard certain deities kind of tell me their names when I'm by the ocean. I don't work with deities. I only work with angels of the Most High God. And then the synchronicities after were very major. So I have had the deities message me and reach out, but I'm not going to say who they are. They're of light and they're good. It's not my thing to work with them. Sometimes they do help you, even though you don't engage, they'll still help you just because that's what they do. Like I said, I'm not going to tell you what tradition, what deities, etc., but even deities on my mother's ancestral line, deities from Brazil reaching out because it's connected to the ocean. So I'm just like, okay, super interesting. So even deities from like great great grandparents are reaching out, and I know it's authentic because I asked my angel, I'm like, is this the actual deity? The angel's like, yes, it is. I'm like, okay. That's an angel response. But when it comes to opening gifts and opening them quickly, the best way to open your gifts very fast, so I'm going to say the real best way, and then I'm going to teach you other ways as well, because this is very general. Working with crystals. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it, but there's something called a super spin. Super spin. I'm using my napkins in my car as an example. Super spin. So your chakras have a spin. So when you use crystals, it spins them at a rate that normally doesn't spin for human. AKA your chakras are superhuman at that point, especially when worn as a necklace. I'm going to say this right now, and I won't say it too many times, but a necklace is 100 times stronger than a bracelet. If you have a bracelet and you've never tried having a necklace, take the bracelet off and put it on your chest, and you'll be like, what is this? What have I been missing out on? That's why when you get a Florida Stone Man necklace, you'll feel the difference. But a Florida Stone Man necklace is a very fast way to open your gifts. So everyone's gifts open with different crystals. That's why certain people will use sodalite and they'll have all their gifts open, versus you use sodalite and it's like nothing's really, I mean, things are happening, but not major, because that's not the energy blockage that you need. Maybe it was the pyrite for the sacral chakra that would have opened your gifts. That's why when you guys get a custom necklace from me, I prescribe them based off what chakras you need open. How else do you know? You can go along every crystal and you can practice and try. I combine words often. That's one thing angels do as well. Little secret in this video is the angelic language is full of just combinations, full of many combinations. So like they'll go, and they just said like a whole paragraph. It's an actual thing, but I'm not going to speak too much in their language because they don't fully allow me to talk about that here and there. But so when you work with crystals, yes, the crystals. So crystals are excellent ways to open your chakras, and putting them on a super spin frequency. Whoa! When you work with crystals, you literally put the crystals, it puts it on a super spin when it comes to your chakras. So let's just say if you have a crystal around your neck and it's on top of the chakra it belongs to, such as when you have rose quartz, and then you have morganite, for example, and you put them on top of the heart chakra, if your heart chakra was doing this, now it's doing this, and it has like a glow to it. It added to your aura. It added to your vibrancy, your frequency. Now you're doing something humans normally don't do. How interesting. How very interesting. So that's a very fast way. So third eye crystal, I mean, let me get straight into this. Is it the third eye crystals that open your gifts? Yeah. Why does it happen when some people work with third eye crystals and their gifts don't open like that? It's because that might have been not the crystal they needed, but they might need a grounding crystal, for example. Like, you might have a freakishly gifted human, but if they don't ground, then they can't access their gifts. So, what's a gift opening crystal? Tourmaline is the #1 gift opening crystal. Why is that? I explained it in my yesterday's video, which you guys should watch, and it's very helpful to watch because that's the opposite end of the spectrum when I'm talking about gift opening and what can block your gifts. But you can watch that video from yesterday too. But when you work with a crystal such as black tourmaline, it opens your gifts, because if there was something blocking your gifts and there was something like literally like choking the gifts, then it's removed. It's vacuumed into the stone and it's removed. Now, you guys really have to think about it in the sense of, instead of for what's opening your gifts, what's allowing your gifts to not open, which I teach about in yesterday's video. So, black tourmaline will take anything that's blocking your gifts from being open, maybe lack of protection, maybe lack of direction, maybe more grounding needed, and it will trigger your gifts opening. So it's the #1 trigger opening gift crystal. It's the most important crystal for spiritual awakening. And some people disagree with that. Well, I disagree when people disagree, because results don't lie. I've opened several of your gifts with the necklace that you guys get from me, and the gifts that you guys open are not accessible by humans. They're not even on Google. So with experience from helping people open these, like, for example, if you're the person who I told basically help the person with the gift, one person who has a necklace from me, she's able to hear plants without a plant wave device. So that's one of the gifts that I'm talking about. So I might release more gifts that are out there that you guys don't know of, because there's a lot of like just X-Men walking around. Like a lot of spiritual X-Men just walking around. So it's incredible how many gifts people have. So one of the ways to open it is working with tourmaline, because it allows the gift to open without being blocked or stopped, because God will stop your gift. I talked about this in yesterday's video. He'll put a lock on your gift if he knows you're going to open the gift, and it'll be overwhelming. No good. But what else can open your gifts quicker? Patience and practice. The two main things: patience and practice. I'm going to tell you something about opening your gifts and how to open them the most efficiently. When you have fun with them, you open them more by accident. If you casually practice and exercise your gift throughout the day versus getting frustrated and trying it over and over, let's just say you're using a candle and you're trying to bend the flame, which is a very, very general one. If you're trying to bend that flame and you're getting frustrated, you're getting mad, you're just flipping out, then guess what? Then the candle flame won't move the way you want it to, which is another gift which I can't say too much about on here. But the candle flame will not move the way you want it to, and you'll get frustrated. You'll want to give up. You won't want to keep doing it. There's someone hitting their windows from the apartment. Oh, I think he's like cleaning something. Like, what's all that slapping and clapping up there? Well, I'm not. Okay. Just avoid what I just said, but I hope you guys didn't hear that either. But the neighbor's cleaning something. I'm hearing all this noise. I'm like, what is that? Are they trying to get their? Are they trying to find out about having their spiritual gifts awakened? Or are they doing something else? I'm like, okay. If that's the case, next time I'll just park down there. But back to the topic of the video is having fun with your gifts. Literally having fun. If you're stressed out and you're wondering, is this happening, you're not going to open your gifts like that. But if you're like, okay, I'm having fun, it might be this much opened, but you might just have fun with it that much. And then that much leads to your gifts getting blasted open. For example, if you're like, okay, cool, I just like looking at the flame, I like playing with the flame, I just think the flame's interesting. You know what happens to people who, I'll reveal this gift a little more. This is the only time I ever reveal this gift, but for the people who enjoy just playing with the candle flame from a distance, not actually touching it. Spiritual video, disclaimer, this is spiritual information. All metaphysical information. So it's rumored, it's a myth, that when you play with the candle flame and that's your gift, and just from a distance, like the candle flame's over here and you're just playing with it. Once you start having fun with playing with that candle flame, it's a myth. It's a myth. When you start playing with that candle flame, it goes from being this big to this big. And it's simply because you had fun with that gift. You weren't frustrated. You were just playing. You had fun just looking at the candle. You had fun playing with the candle. So let's just say that gift gets opened just because you're having fun with it. It might be a year that goes by and you like looking at it. It's maybe 15 minutes a day and you're just looking at it and you're playing with it. And that gift is blasted open. Myth. That's just a myth, guys. It's just a myth. It's just a myth. It's not like fine. I'll teach another myth. There's a myth behind if you take a droplet of water and actually I'll teach this in future videos because I'm only allowed to say so much. So I'll teach that in the next video. So you guys have to stay tuned to the videos because my angel just said it's not a good idea to share that myth. Okay, I taught you enough about that. To the people who have necklaces from me, I'll actually teach you in depth about that. Especially if it's your natural gift. And why people who get custom necklaces from me? Because I work with people who get custom necklaces with me one-on-one. So on to the next thing that'll speed up your gifts opening. Having fun, practicing, most importantly, giving yourself to God. When you give yourself to God, He'll find a way to open your gifts. God will just find a way to... When God wants something to happen, it's gonna happen. It will just appear out of nowhere. That's it. It just appears out of nowhere. It'll just... Like, let's just say you hear angels casually, right? You just casually hear angels. You can hear them generally, but you just have fun with casually hearing your angels. One day, you just wake up and you're like, your ears will feel a little different. You're like, oh, I can fully hear and see them. Oh, they have faces. Ah! And you're like, oh, you can fully hear, see, and it's like a whole humans in your apartment. They'll show themselves when they want to show themselves to you. And yes, I'm keeping my eyes peeled. They'll show themselves when they want to show themselves to you. And they'll show themselves to you when... Because like I said, when God wants something to happen, He's just going to make it happen. There won't be any reason to it. It's just like, okay, it happened. So, in the town of Babel, when they were building the ladder to the sky, if God wanted that to happen, it would happen. But since God didn't want it to happen, it didn't happen. There's more examples, but that's just an example that resonates with most people, especially because a lot of people know Genesis pretty well. So, in essence, ask God, be patient, and give gratitude. And that's the next step. Give gratitude. When you give gratitude, especially if the gift is not fully developed, just say thank you. I'm so grateful that this gift is wide open. It couldn't become more open if it tried because it's so open. You can try that affirmation. Not try, do that affirmation, and you'll wake up and you'll have more gifts than you actually... What do I mean by gifts? Like I said, there's some very specific gifts. There are some very, very specific gifts. So I can't go in depth about the gifts because my angels don't let me go in depth like that, but the gifts are very specific. So I wish I could share more about gifts on here. But I ponder going into gifts information In future videos, I will. I'm like, what can I share? Clairaudience, clairvoyance, telekinesis. Oh. Okay, that's a mythological gift as well. See, that's why I really think about what I say before I say, okay, telekinesis is a gift as well. But I'm gonna cut this video short because I'm not gonna say too much. I have to make sure I don't say too much at all. But if you have any questions, ask them in the comments section. Check out FloridaStoneman.com if you'd like your own custom Florida Stoneman necklace. DM me on Instagram. I prescribe them with the help of my beautiful angels, and you get a one-on-one with Florida Stoneman when you get a custom necklace. Until then, I'll see you guys next time. Ciao.